Alright, ladies, a bit late, but I need content and I wasn't able to record this before. Now, before this video starts, please subscribe. Barely anyone subscribes because they don't subscribe, and I really need to get into an Ivy League college. So please, if you can, subscribe for my college application. Anyways, time for some high quality content. A few days ago, information on Reddit has been released on some possible Shatters items. And yeah, they're possible because they can be removed, they can be changed, and some things may be added. All the items literally say work in progress, not necessarily final. So yeah. There's also some more information on their Reddit post about UT trading. As of right now, only certain items will be tradable, and these certain UTs will only be those with like 15 gold material when dismantled, but they require like 45 gold material when you craft them. However, Deca may also include tradable tier 13 weapons and tier 14 armors, as this Reddit post says. Apparently, this is already out on testing, but we already know tier 13 weapons don't exist, so I'm not that bothered. Rare eggs are also tradable, which is, okay. I mean, doesn't make that much big of a difference, but, like, okay. After this information, we get changes about the Shatters, spree sprites. So, I'm gonna be totally honest. The bracer looks fine in the change. Gemstone looks a lot cuter, but that crown, what am I looking at? It's so vertical and flat, and it looks so clustered. Just Deca, please bring back the old crown sprite. Thanks. And also, there's pretty exciting news. So Deca rings nowadays are all duped, but with Shatters, there's probably going to be a new ring called the Forgotten Ring. Or at least it says the Forgotten Ring, but they might change that up a little bit, because the ST ring for the wizard set that drops from Shatters is also called the Forgotten Ring, so they might change the name of that. But it's pretty much a new Deca ring. It gives 190 HP, and it also looks pretty cool, so that's great. According to the Reddit post, this is going to drop from switches, and so it's kind of like the crystals from Crystal and Fungal Cavern. There's also going to be greater HP potions and greater MP potions. Why they're going to add this? Because people have a skill issue and can't dodge. But, it's finally time for like the new UTs. So I didn't play around with these items on testing because I physically couldn't. My parents were guarding the computer all day. But I'm just gonna go over the items based on what I'm seeing. The Shatters Helmet looks pretty good. It gives 100 damage. It passes through obstacles and multiple enemies along with ignoring their defense. It also gives 9 defense and 4 attack along with 4 vitality. On top of that, it also still gives the berserk effect to the group and has an 8% XP bonus. The post included a little comment saying that there is a second helmet that has 7 shots, and it looks like a PP, which would not be as OP. In my personal opinion, I feel like having shots in the form of a PP is the most overpowered thing you can have in this game. Deca, please make more PP formation shots. It's going to be awesome. There's also going to be a Shatters Loot. It does 500 to 600 damage, and it lowers your shooting speed by 50%, which kind of sucks. However, it does give the group damaging and 10 attack. To be fair, it does have 8 shots, so you should be able to hit soulbound with it, and the group can do extra damage. The loot gives 30 HP and 5 defense, along with an XP bonus of 8. Next, there's a poison. And no joke, this poison actually looks sick. It's Blizzard and Inferno's like little power things inside of a jar. Because it's like red and blue. I'm assuming this is going to drop from the second boss. And the poison does 1,500 damage. I don't know too much about an assassin, which is yikes. So I can't really explain to you what anything really means. But it does say 450 damage on impact, and I'm just assuming the 1,500 damage just stacks up over time. This ability also gives you 8 wisdom, and you might have guessed it, it also gives you 8% XP bonus. The final ability with information released on this Reddit post is that there's going to be a walkie. Now, the sprite doesn't really make it look like a walkie, but it does look pretty cool. The Sentinel's sidearm does 1,000 damage that home. Yes, they do home. They target the nearest enemy, and there are 3 shots. The walkie also gives 5 attack and 5 dex. There's no way this is not going to be a DPS item in most Discords. It's probably going to be requirements. I'm not going to go too in-depth about the weapons, because Deca was even lazy with making the sprites. So the Katana that's going to be supposedly dropped by Shatters does a lot of damage, but it shoots slower than a grandma pulling up at an American school. It also reduces your attack, a horrible item at first glance, despite the +5 speed. But what I've been hearing from the Shatters Discord is that it's still a really, really good katana. But it will do less damage than an enforcer. The one, from the looks of it, does horrible damage and silences you, but it does have 2 shots, so that might make up for the horrible damage. It does give you 8 wisdom, so that's pretty nice, I guess, but like, you kind of can't use your ability when you're silenced, so Deca, you might have a small problem here. The bow has 2 shots and does less damage than the one, just to frick it up more. You also lose 15 dex, cool. That 5 vit and 100% rate of fire really helps out, because it really doesn't. And then there's also armors. The Shatters armor, I'm not going to go too in-depth about them either, because there are no sprites for them and stuff. But for the robe, you finally have a way to, like, get energized. If Deca does, like, what it says. So there are Christmas items that you can also obtain that give you energized, but the problem is you can only obtain them during a limited time. But the robe gives 40 HP and MP, 10 defense, and 20 vit. It's kind of like a fungal breastplate, just not really. The heavy armor gives invulnerability for 2 seconds on shoot when you are in combat. There sadly is a cooldown for this, but it gives 60 HP, 20 defense, and 10 vit. The leather armor gives armored for 4 seconds on shoot when in combat. 10-second cooldown, but you get 50 HP, 15 defense, and 15 vit. Near the end, they also include some information about 3 other UTs. There's going to be a mace, orb, and a scepter. Too lazy to go over all of it, but the mace summons all 3 at once, and these have HP. According to the Reddit post, the orb is supposed to be really, really broken. The post says so itself. But the scepter is down bad. Finally, the ST set. Not too much about it, but all the items have some kind of new ability now, except for the staff. The ring probably crazy, though, because you can spawn Blizzard and Inferno in. Anyways, everything except for STs in the Forgotten Ring. It has an XP bonus of 8%. The ST pieces are 7%, 7%, 6%, and 5% from staff, spell, robe to ring. The Deca reskin is 5% XP bonus. And that is pretty much all that is on this Reddit post. Anyways, school is coming up soon. I'll try to keep up the content. I hope you all have a great day. And please subscribe. Do it for the college application, not for me.